Your agents love you and then they leave you.
So it's that dreaded, I've gotten it so many times, it's painful, right? Like it's the text message at like 7 o'clock and at PM and they're like, hey, can we talk tomorrow?
The agents join for knowledge. They stay because of community. They stay because of growth. They stay because they feel significant. Welcome to Real Estate Untucked. Let's get untucked. Here's what we're untucking today. Your agents love you and then they leave you. So, Brad, how do we retain agents? They join our team. They think we're great. We think they're great. Everything's going along. And then on a weird Tuesday, they end up leaving. And what I've found is, and I'll see if you think this is true, most teams have somewhat of an attraction plan. They do not have a retention plan that is intentional enough or actually helps their agents stay clear on the value they're getting from the team.
Yep. So it's that dreaded, I've gotten it so many times, it's painful, right? Like it's the text message at like 7 o'clock and at PM and they're like, hey, can we talk tomorrow? And you're like, you son of a bitch, I know it's coming. So you're right. I mean, what is that old adage that it's twice as expensive to get new business as to keep the business you have?
Yeah.
I think honestly, my brief explanation of this is, they're not loving on their agents and they haven't given them a place to grow. It's like every business I run. If you're good, you're going to go do your own thing. If you're not good, you're going to get complacent, right? And I don't mean that in a negative way for people that think they're not good. It's just, people want to grow if they want to grow. And if you have a ceiling on them, they can't go anywhere other than somewhere else.
And it's natural, right? Like they're with your team.
Yeah.
They've learned. They just did 4 deals and they start doing, what is a very rude way of saying it, but they start doing buyer agent math, which is like, oh, I gave Brad this much and I did this. And like, they're not really thinking about the last 2 years, but so it's natural. But here's the other piece of it, right? The agents join for knowledge. They stay because of community. They stay because of growth. They stay because they feel significant, right? The math has to make sense, but there's other reasons they stay. So what we have to do is not in a defensive way, not in a guilt trip way, but we've got to remind our team in a healthy way why we're actually worth staying here. Why does it actually make sense to stay here? And it's okay to get into some of the numbers. I think most builders have never been taught how to do that well. They know they're getting support, but nobody ever broken down for them what that actually looks like.
Yeah, one of my favorite examples, I had an agent years ago and she came in my office after her first year. She did 32 transactions, very, very good. And she's like, I'm leaving. Cool. Where are you going? She's like, down the street. I was like, cool. Well, of those 32, 26 came from the company. So how much are you going to make on the 6, right? And she's like, well, I didn't think about it that way. So I gave her my calculator. I was like, this is my gift to you. When you learn how to use this, you come back. Not the right answer. She didn't come back. I guess either she didn't learn how to use it or she was a little mad about my explanation. But that's the point is I don't think leaders actually wake up outside of what I just said and like look at ways to neglect their agents. I think it happens honestly. And I think it happens subconsciously. They're busy on other shit.
I think usually the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? So like the agent that's having an issue gets most of your attention. And the other thing too is I don't think most leaders know how to reiterate their value without it sounding like rude or egotistical or like they're giving you a guilt trip. So it's like they kind of assume their agents see the value and they don't really want to break it down. So let's give them 4, like there's 4 things we wrote down. And the first one is help them understand the cost of leads. If you're paying for leads, what's the actual cost of those leads? Is it $20, $30, $100, $600? What's the cost you're paying? Where do those leads come from? And what's the cost? If you're going to go generate this, it would cost you this. I think it's okay to share with them some math.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I've also learned that they don't give a shit what my expenses are. Never have, never will. Right?
Correct.
So I don't disagree with that. And I don't think it's bad to show them that, but at the end of the day, they don't care.
No. But here's what I did back in the day. And I would love to know if you have a better way of doing this. One of the things that I did is we had a side-by-side comparison. Like here's what your cost and net on a team. Here's your cost and net as an individual agent. And it was an Excel sheet and you can adjust the numbers based on them person. But it's like, hey, you want to do 20 deals a year. here's what it would cost you for coaching. Here's what it would cost you for those leads. Here's what it would cost you for space. Here's what it would cost you for insurance. Here's what it would cost you. And it wasn't a manipulative tool. It's just like, hey, if you're on your own, here's going to be the cost, the operations. Like if you were going to do this on your own, here's all the costs it would have. By the way, over here on the team, here's what it costs you, right? Here's what you pay in your split. And then none of these things cost you money, right? And it literally showed the net, and the net being on the team 9 times out of 10 was much greater than being on your own. And by the way, if the net's different, then we need to have an honest conversation about that. But it's okay to share with them, here's what it would take you on your own. Here's what it would take you on a team. Like, I'm not here to talk you in one or the other, but I built a team because the math makes sense, and I built a team that I would want to join. Now, that's a great question. Would you want to join your team? Like, if we're going to go full Jesus here and we want to have a little hallelujah, altar call, would you join your team? Would you join your team? Are you offering enough based on the splits, based on your setup? Would you join your team? And if the answer is no, you probably need to go back to draw. No wonder you feel weird about it.
Yeah.
No wonder you feel awkward about having the conversation, because you trying to strong arm people in using words like loyalty. And you might need to go back and redo it.
Yep. I think I would, but I think when it comes to teams, the support the agent receives needs to be 3 times the value of what they're paying. But like, that's the thing, right? So you get a producer that's doing 30 deals. They're like, hey, I can go pay my own TC and come out ahead. Maybe. But if that TC gets carried off by butterflies or whatever, like you've got to go find a new one. You're back in the saddle. Let's say you go hire one full time. So you get a $40,000 salary sitting there. And what if you want to take a month off? You're still paying them, right? I can get a TC, pay them very well, but also distribute the cost among 10 people. And so that's my job is to compartmentalize and to use those resources appropriately, but also to make sure every speed bump's out of my agent's way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I look at it like Dennis Tuttle did a great talk with us at Broker Boardroom a couple years ago. And if anybody wants the recording, send me a message. I don't want to just throw it out there on the internet, but I'll send it to you if you want it. He did such a great talk about the perceived value. And just like you said, if they perceive it's worth, 100,000 and they're only paying 20,000, they go, man, this has massive value. But if they're paying $100,000 and they think it's only worth, $110,000, then there's very little perceived value there, right? Just like, I mean, EXP is phenomenal, right? People are paying, $60,000 cap. Most of them are getting that back, and they're getting a huge amount of value. Like it's a right. Those are the things you go. It's a no brainer. Is being on your team a no brainer? Is being in your brokerage a no brainer? And even if it is no brainer, we still have to show them the value from time to time, right? Don't assume they get it. And I think that's what we're talking about. But there has to be actual value gap. Then they go, I'm getting massive value, right, for what I'm doing. I've given Brad a hard time for years because his value gap was absolutely ginormous for what he was giving all his agents, which is great. And then keep walking through this list.
So I think one of the other things we need to talk about too is like the infrastructure part. And I know we kind of just touched on the TC part, but at the same time, like they need to look at what are you saving me to? Because what I did the math and it took me a while, but we save our agents 12 hours of time per listing, 5 hours of time per buyer. Not including, like that's just the time. So what are we paying for? What are we covering for them? And then multiply times their hourly rate. So now they can do more business in the same amount of time if they want to. They can go play pickleball. I don't care. They can go be a better parent, spouse, whatever. Like, but I am saving you time, and I make that very clear to them because there's very defined lanes on how we do it. So you've got to go over the structure. I think one of the best ways we have done this, every team meeting, we pull a piece of tech that we use, give a refresher. Here's what you need to do with this tech. And oh, by the way, Anya, our transaction coordinator, please go over like what we're messing up on dot loop and these things, and let them tell them what's going on. And you let people speak for you sometimes.
Absolutely. And to even go deeper on that, like all the things that you provide, like we're putting on a client appreciation party, all that stuff, you just need to invite people. Like that's a massive amount of hours, right? Oh, by the way, we looked at all this tech. We spent, 100 hours in research. Here's why we chose this one. We're offering it to you, but like, it's not just the offering, it's the 100 hours we spent, looking at 15 different CRMs, being on 700 webinars to get this dialed in. And then I think the third thing that you're providing a lot of times, so we got all the costs, all the things we're paying for, right? All the leads we're bringing in, the structure, and then the brand. Brand matters. Like you have, when somebody goes on a listing point, they go, I'm with the art of real estate. Like that carries weight, and the brand is something that has taken a very, very long time to build. So I think that brand does carry weight. That is important, especially depending on what team or brokerage you're part of.
And I think some agents, some team leaders will cop out going, well, I don't want to put my brand on my agents because I want them to have their own brand. Well, that's not a team, guys. A team is one brand, one jersey, one uniform, one flag, right? Like that is what a team is. So like you need to leverage that, and you need to make sure that is first and foremost, and then maybe have a way that the agent can co-brand with your brand. Would be super beneficial. Yeah, brand's not just the actual logo. It is the felt sense that comes with it. It is the history that you've put into it. It is the quality deals that you've done the last 30 years, 20 years, whatever it is, to make that brand something, right? Like that is what a brand is. It's not just the logo. So it's not tangible, but they need to understand that it's got some value.
Yep. Yep. So I think we're going to get really practical on this. Let's give a couple things that are really practical for what we would call our care and feeding plan. I think everyone needs to have a caring feeding plan for their agents. You need to have a good framework for this. You can spice up or tweak a little bit per agent, but you need to have a care and feeding plan. And the first part of that is kind of what you just said, Brad, like a quarterly value conversation. This isn't a performance review necessarily. This is like, hey, here's the value you're getting from the team. Let's post it. Let's talk about it. Hey, here's how many leads the team brought in. Here's how many deals we got from the website, whatever it is, right? Like actually doing that. And then, so that would be the first. The second would be like, to make sure you're doing your one-on-ones or your growth check-ins. Do they have a growth plan? Do you know what their goals are? Are you checking in with them? Are you holding them accountable to at least one business goal and one personal goal? Like, are you doing that consistently and not just taking care of the squeaky wheel?
Hey, really quick, you know how YouTube works. Like and subscribe so we know this is working and it keeps pushing the content out.
Yeah, this is what we do as a passion project. Wayne got his own coaching, I got my real estate, but we've come together because we want y'all to learn from all our scars and mistakes. So that like and subscribe means the world to us because it means you care and it means we can keep giving, and also it makes us look cool with my mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me, practically what has helped is we used to run off a framework. We still do, but it's recruiting, results, retention, right? And it's not necessarily that order, but if it fits in one of those three buckets, we're good. But like the results are getting more deals out of the current agents you have. Would you rather go find 10 more agents or get your 10 agents to do, 5 more deals each? And you can do that. So, but one-on-ones, I can't tell you how important this. I do one every single month with my agents, 30 to 45 minutes, no KPI conversations, no beat downs. Hey, what's going on? What are you struggling with? How can I make this better? And really it's where you get to know your agents and they know that you care because then you follow through with it. Monthly team meetings, you got to have those at least. Don't do weekly. You ain't got enough to talk about weekly. That's just a pain in the ass. But if you did it monthly and keep it sacred, and keep those guardrails on there, you're getting people face to face. They're getting to see the team because the team is not just you and them, it's everybody else. So I think that's a big one. Like, don't cop out. If you say you don't have time for one-on-ones, you don't have time for a team.
Amen. That's 100% true. Yep. Third one would be like recognize them, like have ways of recognizing and celebrating them. We've seen people that will like write a letter to that your agent's spouse and go like, hey, just want to let you know how proud I am of James because of blank blank. Right? Shout out about them on social media. Talk about them at the team meeting, whatever it is. Like people want to feel connected. They want to feel significant. They want to feel important. So I think being more strategic and more intentional about the public record. Like, do you have a checklist that says like, hey, have I recognized all these people in the last quarter? If someone doesn't have a check mark next to their name, like I probably need to go find something to celebrate about.
Yeah. Well, I think people, yes, they leave teams for sure, but it's not always because of money. It's either their significance, which is healthy, right? Their ego. How do you help them do that? And how do you help them grow? So I think the celebratory thing, like you were talking about, if they feel loved and they feel like they're a part of the team and they can grow inside the team, they're not going to leave you. And it doesn't have to be my closers club this month because they closed a deal and you've got these fake awards that you make up for everybody on your team. It's like Mr. Wednesday because he's always here and chipper on Wednesdays, right? Mr. Hump Day or whatever the fuck you want to call him. No, but you can also have fun with it. So we do milestones in my company. So it could be your 10th deal with us and we do different things in the number of deals you do. So everybody's not competing. But we also point out like, hey, you get the shitty deal award. This last month, the coordinators have voted that you had the worst deal of way it went down. And like, we're sorry. And like, we give them like a banana trophy or something, like something random that they have to like, they earn. But it's a joke, but it also acknowledges they had a really hard month.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. I think it's so huge. My challenge for everyone would be write down a care and feeding plan. It's probably, hey, here's how I reiterate the value of our company on at least a quarterly or monthly basis. Here's how my cadence of checking in and staying in the loop with my PO. So we do one-on-ones or we do unsolicited check-ins or whatever. Like, what are you going to do to really take care of them? And then do I have a way of celebrating them? Right. And then if I was going to throw a fourth one on there, it's probably what Brad, you're really good at this, but like, do we also have ways of building community? Are we doing a bowling night? Are we doing a park day? Are we, like, what are we doing to kind of help them get connected to each other? Not just with us. but actually write down what's your plan if you are hiring somebody to come in and take care of this. Like what would the plan be? You would expect them to go implement and put into place. And like you said, dude, it's so much easier to keep people. And I think the biggest misnomer is people leave you for money. Most people don't leave you for money. The money has to make sense, but most people leave you because they don't feel, either they're hopeless, they don't feel like they have a plan to get ahead, or they don't feel cared about.
Yeah. And guys, just to piggyback on what you said, like put all that in chat and literally go into AI and say, these are my agents. This is what they like, which you should be doing anyways. When you onboard them, send them a survey. What's your favorite soft drink, hard drink, whatever it is, candy, have that. And this is, I'm preaching because we actually do this, but then say, hey, this is what they like. Give me a randomized calendar over the next 12 months of when I should reach out to so-and-so. And then it's random, but it's not. You know what you're doing. You can look a week out. Anyways, I can go on and on for that stuff because that is what really comes down and matters. And you don't have to recreate the wheel. People are eye rolling because they don't have time to do it. Well, also nominate somebody to be your culture captain, right? Like put 2 or 3 people together and be like, hey,
Absolutely.
you're our events team. And lastly, I'm tired of people being cheap. Tired of it. You take your team out to lunch, pay for the fucking tab, right? Like if you're going to take them out the drinks for bowling, pay for it. It's $1,000, right? But you're making 100,000 off of them. Pay for it. Cheap asses. Yeah, it pisses me off.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I challenge you. Anyway, you got a team, make a list of your team members and go down it. Like, do I know their goals? Do I know their one big personal goal they have? And then when was the last time I talked to them?
Yep.
If you can't remember when last time you had a real conversation, start there. And then, like you said, get in chat and build out the framework.
Yeah, that's it, man. The whole assignment. It's a lot. So go back and watch this video again if you're struggling with agents or you had somebody leave you recently. Maybe this would be a little slap in the face you need. Just to be like, oh, yeah, Sally didn't really leave me over money. She didn't feel appreciated because I hadn't seen her in 6 months, right? Because I guarantee you somebody's recruiting her is giving her a whole lot more attention.
Absolutely.
So anyways, all right, guys, hit the subscribe button. You want to see this next video, make it easier on yourself. It'll come right to you if you hit the subscribe button. And we like that.
Boom.
And we're going to get into exactly what most successful agents are quietly doing right now to make their numbers look good. So you need to make sure you watch it. So hit that button so it comes right to you.
Get after it. Bye all.
Hey, real quick, if you're liking this content, imagine having a full day immersed with people that are on this, like us, that are learning from each other.
Man, we do these kind of events, these intensive, a couple times a year. And if you know that you are the smartest person in the room and you need to get in some other rooms, this is the place to be, right? So apply, send us a message right now. We'll send you the application link and see if you are the right fit to be in one of the rooms.